The 2024 SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup is proudly brought to you by SunBet, Red Square, Bridgestone, the tyre of choice, and Kawasaki South Africa. Welcome to round 5 of the 2024 SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup in Port Elizabeth around the Aldo Scribante Raceway, which once again forms part of the Extreme Festival. Round 5 marks the halfway point of the 10-round season, and tensions were higher than ever as those all-important points were up for grabs.
You can see a very tired rider who's gone out for 2 sessions, chilling like a rock star. So, Mark Newland, tell us a little bit about your first session.
When today?
Yes. Well, or yesterday. Give us a little bit of both.
It's been interesting. Like I said to you earlier, flipping the track is so fast, and the bikes are an absolute flipping handful. So it's a bit of a humbling experience coming out.
Okay.
But yeah, fun. I think I'll get down. Probably, I'm hoping to drop into the 105s in the next session. So yeah, we'll try and get that done, and then qualify decent for tomorrow because my qualifying is always cut.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Oh, shit.
First time in PE, right?
Yeah.
And what do you think about the track?
I love it.
You love it?
Probably the best track I've ever ridden. Like, yeah, I absolutely love it. It's so cool.
Yeah?
Very quirky because it's quite technical, even though it's fast. But it's like, it's cool. It's a refreshing track. You don't get tired.
Yeah.
So it's super fast. And it's just the bikes are ridiculous. Sit on the back wheel. So, yeah, it's fun.
Before hitting the track though, those all-important PR duties need to be taken care of. Lining the bikes up in the pit lane as well. A beautiful variety of ZX10R machines in different colors and shapes. Kawasaki ZX10 is obviously the motorcycle of choice here in the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. Round 5 saw the return of Sifiso Themba on the number 63 machine, as well as Adi van Dalen, who had managed to repair his bike and re-wrap it in a beautiful and distinctive color after a disappointing Swartkops round. The number 78 machine of David Enticott. Great to see David back at Aldo Scribante, a track where he has been quick in the past. Time to make sure you've got that gearing spot on. Pick it if you haven't, as shown here by Jai Cruz. Time to fit those beautiful, brand new, grippy Bridgestone R11 tyres. Make sure that setup is spot on and crisp, just the way you like it, because you'll have to fit in a quick time if you want to challenge up front in the ZX10 Masters Cup. Preparation is key, or so they say. Aubrey Murray hoping for a decent weekend out in Port Elizabeth at the Aldo Scribante Raceway for round 5 of the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. A family vibe as always in the pit lane, filled with family and friends. An important thing, because who else is going to clean your visor, your helmet, your motorcycle and your riding kit? For those riders lucky enough to have someone to do it for them. Unfortunately, as you can see here, Christian Carvello having to do it himself. Come on now, Christian. You need to delegate that on. You need to prepare yourself, because up next is qualifying. As always in the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup, there would be 3 qualifying sessions held on Friday, and the final and most important one on Saturday morning before the 2 races of the day. Final preparations and tyre pressures done, it was time to suit up in anticipation for qualifying in the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. Chatter in the pit lane, as always, amongst the riders. Well, out on the track, the marshals getting that final preparation done out on the Aldo Scribante racetrack. With that being said, the riders made their way out of pit lane. Green flag as we take a ride on board around this beautiful Aldo Scribante Raceway with Han McMahon. Onto the main straight then, here at Aldo Scribante Raceway, we generally got to short shift gears, keep that front wheel from lifting up in the air, possibly that all-important time. And a lot of riders will use 5 gears here, some opting for 6, back down to 3rd gear for turn 1 generally, and you're going to hold that 3rd gear until you get to turn 2 and turn 3. So holding 3rd gear, you want to hug the inside. The track is quite bumpy. Aubrey ahead here, 2nd, sometimes 3rd gear, but 3rd, 4th, you're going to hold 4th. A lot of riders gearing down for the sweep here, but generally that will be done in 3rd gear, and all the way into the hairpin wedge, gear down into 2nd gear. It is very easy to lose the front end of your motorcycle here. Jaya Cruz just ahead of Hein. There's 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th gear, sometimes out there into the Bridgestone sweep, which is absolutely grueling on your rear tire as you try and get that power down, heading into the final corner here at Aldo Scribante. It is a 2.480 kilometer racetrack, 8 corners in total, a tight and twisty track, which has proven over the years to be a favorite amongst two-wheel racing enthusiasts in South Africa. 21 riders made their way out for qualifying, including Martin Parry, 21st on the grid, setting an impressive lap time. Great to see Martin back after his nasty crash at Swartkorps. Tyron Papa in Class A 109.7 from the number 45 machine as he adapts to the Kawasaki machine and the Aldo Scribante Raceway. A great qualifying in 20th place. '19th place on a 108.6 for Renatus van der Kerk, but as you can see, a nasty crash would put an end to his weekend, unfortunately sustaining a little bit of injuries, but also his machine was unable to be repaired in time to take part in the races. A disappointing end to round 5 then for Renatus van der Kerk on the number 57 Kawasaki. As you can see clearly with that crash, a bit of wind knocked out of the sails of the number 57 rider. So hopefully we'll see Renatus out at round 6. A rider who is normally very consistent, doesn't often make a lot of mistakes. So very, very rare to see Renatus van der Kerk on the ground, especially here at Aldo Scribante Raceway. A little bit of a walk of shame here for Renatus, but it's glad to see that he is up and walking away from that crash. Crashes here at Aldo Scribante are normally quite nasty. A precautionary checkup in the ambulance then for Renatus, but unfortunately the same cannot be said for his Kawasaki ZX-10R. I am glad that is not my motorcycle being loaded onto the back of a flatbed. Granted, it was crashed, it is damaged, however, still lying it down like that, not the best, especially on that beautiful exhaust pipe. I am glad that is not my motorcycle. Can somebody please sponsor Aldo Scribante Raceway a motorcycle trailer? It would make life a lot easier, a lot simpler, definitely. But at the end of the day, all jokes aside, glad to see Renatus A-OK after that crash, but he opted out of participating for the rest of the weekend. He's obviously going to go back, rethink things over, come back stronger. Speaking about stronger, glad to see Sifiso Themba back on the grid in the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. Looking good in 18th place and setting a 108.1 lap time. 17th on a 107.6 was Daryl Barrington, but an unfortunate crash, as you can see here, would also put an early end to the weekend for Daryl. Speedy recovery, Daryl. Hope to see you out at round 6. Number 70, Dieter Huisman, looking good around the Aldo Scribante Raceway. Not quite where he would want to be. He would want to be a lot further up and is capable of being a lot further up. Well, a strong showing for Stephen Golgotsi in 15th on a 107.2. He's carrying momentum, carrying form from previous rounds, so definitely a man to keep a close eye on as he looks for a top 15, possibly even a top 10 result. P14 for the number 48 bike of Aubrey Marais on a 107.1. Also a man who will be chasing a top 10 finish. Not quite where he wants to be on the grid, so he'll definitely be one to keep an eye out for. P13 on a 107.1 for Mark Newland, the number 2 machine, looking good around the Aldo Scribante Raceway as he adapts to life back on board a ZX-10R Cup bike. 76 of Jaya Cruz on a 106.6. The Class C veteran rider looking good, styling as ever around this tight tricky and twisty Aldo Scribante Raceway. He'll be wanting more come race day though. Definitely a top 10 contender. P11 for the crafty veteran Johan Leroux, one of the most experienced veterans. We say it all the time, one of the most experienced veterans out on the racetrack. He'll be definitely one to keep an eye out for. P10 on a 105.7 for David Feringa, the Class B man, as he chases a podium in his class and possibly a top 7 position overall come race day. P9 for Christian Carvello, a great qualifying on a 105.6 for the number 88 ZX10 rider. So good to see Christian out having fun and being quite fast around the Aldo Scribante Raceway. 8th place for Adi van Dalen, who would be wanting a little bit more. He would definitely be chasing those top 5 positions come race day, but a great comeback after a disappointing round 4 at Swartkops Raceway. P7 Byron Rothwell in Class A, a 105.5 lap time for the man, on form man, who has had some good results as of late as a number 37 rider, while P6 James Barson, a newcomer to the series in the last couple of rounds, showing that he's here and he's here to stay. A superb qualifying there for James and the team. The Steel Monkey clothing backman on his number 15 Kawasaki ZX10R bike. He would be chasing those overall top 5 positions come race day, and he'd be in a battle with Han McMahon, who despite a great qualifying in 5th, he would have some technical issues on his beautiful number 4 ZX10R, and he would be loaned a motorcycle so he could compete in the races. P4 Graham from Idar on a 103 lap time, the defending champion, coming to grips with his ZX10R, his new spec bike. We say it every time, but he just seems to be getting better and faster and more consistent. 3rd place for the number 78 of David Enticott on a 103.8. A great lap time there, and it's superb to see David back in the mix, back in the fold. Hopefully we will see him a lot more consistent throughout the rest of the remaining 5 rounds of 2024. And P2 for Trevor Westman on a 103.5. He would need to take advantage with the absence of Clinton Sella, get as many points as he possibly can to close that gap in the championship. 821 of Damian Pervocati on pole position. So a great showing from Damian on his Anderlecht Racing ZX10R, the amalgam welding man, looking very good, looking very spicy, very racy for round 5 here at Aldo Scribante. So after an enthralling qualifying session, let's take a look at the final combined qualifying results. Damian Pervocati on pole, followed by Trevor Westman, David Enticott rounding out the front row. The first of the second row, Graham from Idar ahead of Han McMahon in 5th, James Barson in 6th, Byron Rothwell in 7th, followed by Adi van Dalen in 8th place, Christian Carvello rounding out the top 9 ahead of David Feringa, Johan Leroux, first of the C-Class riders, followed by Jayo Cruz in 12th, Mark Newland in 13th, Abi Murray in 14th, Stephen Galgozzi in 15th, and Dieter Huisman in 16th. Daryl Barrington, unfortunately, be sidelined, but he did qualify in 17th, but won't be taking part in the races, ahead of Sifiso Temba in 18th, 19th, Renatus van der Kerk. Exactly the same can be said there. Unfortunately, we'll be missing out on the 2 races come Saturday. Tyron Piper in 20th and Martin Perry in 21st.
Hello to all our SunBet ZX10 Masters. Daniela here with Sifiso Temba. Yeah, I haven't seen you at another place other than Joburg in so long. You have made it all the way down here. Tell us a little about what happened yesterday and how your qualifying was morning.
Yeah, shout out to everyone. And man, I could say this is that. I think I've been off for 4 or 5 months. And yes, the competition has tightened up, but we're here for the show and we're here to have some fun in the race. Yesterday, it was first time being back on the bike and also being at the coast. More power, trust. And today we also being more so just chipping in, trying to build up and see by the end of the day where we qualify. So far, I'm hard with myself, but I want more. I want more.
You want more? And then tell us, when was the last time you went?
2021.
Yes.
Yeah, because last time was 2021.
So you got some learning to do.
Some learning.
Oh, you got this, and you're checking at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes.
All right. Cheers.
The 2024 SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup is proudly brought to you by SunBet, Red Square, Bridgestone, the tyre of choice, and Kawasaki South Africa.